it is a precarious situation. I think in India we locked down for a lot longer. So
Mm-hmm.
I think while it was obviously frustrating for businesses, I think in the long run it seems to be working out well. And as long as we can avoid any sort of second lockdown, I think the economy will be back faster than ever. So
Okay.
fingers crossed. So, like you rightly said, we've always been propagating safety and hygiene, especially when it comes to food for our customers. We obviously were looking at global trends back in January and February, and things were escalating in the rest of the world. So one of the learnings we got, and we were quick to act because of the infrastructure we have in place, is that we made our entire delivery experience contactless. We have a McDelivery application that has a bunch of features, including Google tracking, rider tracking, being able to see where your order is, so you don't need to interact with the rider. And then our backend also integrates it very seamlessly so that they can leave it when the customers are not around and the customers can come and pick up the order. So it allowed us to implement the whole contactless delivery very seamlessly. And even our packaging and our restaurant operations are anyway very used to ensuring that the orders are well sealed, the food is handled very safely with gloves, etc. So we've been doing that since eons, and McDonald's is one of the biggest proponents of food safety. So as a result of that, we were able to roll this out very quickly. We were the first QSR to launch this initiative, as you rightly said, and it really helped us accelerate our convenience channels. As you may have read in a lot of our releases, our convenience channels are really what helped us get through the entire pandemic, and also have helped us bounce back faster. So in fact, we're not only seeing convenience channels grow, we're seeing dine-in business bounce back very well, and overall our entire pie is growing bigger. So we're very excited, in fact, for the months and quarters to come. I mean, in the months of the of April, May, June quarter, that was when the pandemic was at its highest in terms of the lockdown, and all businesses were forced to shut shop, and even delivery was very volatile. So during those months, obviously, and you can see those in our publicly released quarterly results, were obviously tough months. But what we did was we had a very strong focus, like I said, on ensuring that business continuity was put in the forefront. We conserved cash. We had a strong balance sheet, and as a result, none of our financial metrics were really impacted. Net debt, in fact, has been very in check through the entire pandemic. On top of that, we accelerated our convenience channels because of our focus on technology, and everything is integrated very seamlessly, both from the back end and the front end. So consumers were able to have a good experience in terms of ordering their food, a good and safe experience. And at the back end, our service and our logistics were pretty much uninterrupted post the worst of the pandemic being behind us after April and May. So we've seen a pretty strong bounce back post that, and again you can see that in the months of July, August, September, where actually by July our convenience channels had crossed 100% of pre-COVID levels, and our dine-in business was slowly bouncing back as states started reopening. Since Maharashtra reopened in October, obviously we've been seeing a good bounce back from the dine-in business. But as you saw, or as you may have read, even during our quarter release for July, August, September, in September we were back to 75% plus of pre-COVID levels, with dine-in not having even opened in one of our key states, which was Maharashtra. So
Yeah.
overall, obviously, it taught us a lot. We followed the principles, like I said, of cash conservation, convenience channels, technology, safety, hygiene, and I think we're in a much better position than we were back in April, and we've emerged stronger from this pandemic. I mean, as you've seen at HRPL, McDonald's, we have been very forward in terms of our technological advancements. We've in fact launched our own app and website back in 2015, and our delivery business has been growing through the years. It was one of the reasons we were able to take full advantage of the fact that customers were moving online, because we are an omni-channel brand. So as a result of that, we were able to grow our convenience businesses through the pandemic. On top of that, we had new features already available because of the fact that we were noticing consumer trends around pickup, curbside pickup, takeaway. So we, in fact, introduced this feature of ordering back in May, which was already available on our application, but we kind of ensured that consumers were able to order their place their orders ahead of reaching the restaurant and pick them up from outside the restaurant. So as a result, again, it was a contactless delivery. It was very convenient because they got the food in their car. And actually, we've seen tremendous growth through this business channel through the pandemic. So another, example of how, because we were abreast of customer trends, we were able to make a technological change or add a new feature within our digital platform, and consumers were very appreciative of that. Lastly, even another example I can give you is around our, our McDonald's app, which basically has a bunch of engagement features, promotions, where consumers actually can, have a actually game-like experience within the application, and also take advantage of all the specific user-based promotions that we run, whether it's across festivals like Diwali, Christmas, and they can go into the restaurant, they can redeem those promotions and have a, family meal or a individual meal also at very, attractive value, accreditive prices. So these are some of the, and we know that consumers really appreciate value as well as engagement through mobile applications. So these are examples of how we scanned the market for all the trends that were emerging and actually implemented them through technological changes within our business. What I can tell you is that our convenience channels as a whole have grown. In fact, we discussed this in our last quarterly results also, that they are more than 50% of the business, and most of them are technology related channels. Part of that includes our McDelivery app and business, as well as the aggregator partnerships. Both have been growing very aggressively, and we've always partnered with aggregators from day one. So it's a very strategic and collaborative partnership. But at the same time, we have our own digital platform, which we, aggressively work on in terms of ensuring that the experience is good for our consumers, and also ensure that it's promoted and users are aware of the fact that we have our own digital platform. So both combined have helped us grow our delivery platform very aggressively over the last few years. I mean, the market, as well as, our consumers, know that we are convenience forward and we're a delivery forward brand. And at the same time, our convenience offering as a whole, because McDonald's is known as a convenience brand, has grown.
So what is the delivery versus the dine-in ratio at present?
Sure. So again, we don't break that up exactly, but like I said, delivery is part of our convenience channels, and convenience channels today roughly contribute almost 60% of sales. So that's a number that we have broken out, and delivery is obviously a large part of our convenience channel. Globally is known for its drive-throughs. In fact, even in the global world through the pandemic, drive-throughs is one of the strongest use cases that emerged, because users just wanted to pick up their order and move out safely from the restaurant. So we have been pioneers in that business model, and we have roughly around 60 or drive-through restaurants as well. Which Bhumika can share the exact figures. So those do extremely well and have done well through the pandemic. In fact, we've seen those restaurants bounce back to, I think, 100+% of pre-COVID levels. So that's one encouraging trend, and it does show us that consumers like this, behavior of picking up their food. And as a result, obviously, we've been focusing very aggressively on our curbside pickup feature, which we had released a while ago, in fact, and it picked up through the pandemic. And according to us, it's a very strong use case because it's very convenient, it's safe, it's enabled by technology. So consumers actually have an overall fantastic experience. And it's something that we're working on. We're ensuring that the customer experience only gets better, just like our drive-through experience, where we have a separate counter as well. And secondly, we're working on ensuring that people are aware of the fact that we offer this service. So we definitely see it as one of the growth drivers. It has worked well for us. And today we are looking at making it a bigger part of our business in the years to come. I think two lessons I would take away from it. One is that have a very strong financial position at all times. so that you can deal with a black swan event or any sort of crisis that comes up. And number two is always be aware of what the consumer trends are and use technology, invest in technology to ensure that you are able to make agile movements through such black swan events. So I think these are two lessons that we learned, and actually because we followed these principles, we were fortunate enough to move quickly and come out stronger from this entire pandemic.